Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about narcissists on dating apps. What's a sign that you are talking to a narcissist on a dating app? Before I even get into this, let me just say this, you guys. The dating apps today are not like the dating apps of years ago. Years ago, when dating apps first came out, a lot of people were able to meet somebody and get into long-term relationships with them, right? But today, the dating apps are now, they've become abused. Dating apps are number one, they're a cheater's playground. When you meet somebody on a dating app, most of the time you're going to be meeting somebody that's in a relationship or married, okay? Because they just love going on the dating apps. They love getting on there. It's instant supply. So you have to be very, very cautious when you go on a dating app because most of these people have somebody and you don't even realize it, okay? You don't even realize it because they all portray that they're single, but they're out there. They're usually looking for sex or they're looking for money, okay? So how are you going to know when you go on a dating app whether you're dealing with a narcissistic type of person? Well, number one, take a good look at their profile, okay? Take a good look at their profile and what they put out there. Obviously, if they're putting very, very sexy pictures up, all right, that is a red flag that they're probably sex is what they're after. Another red flag, you guys, is that they won't have their picture in the profile picture because they'll put a scenic picture or something because they're hiding on the dating app, all right? They're afraid that their significant other will see them on that dating app or a friend or a relative or somebody. So they won't use their profile picture as their main picture. That's a huge red flag, okay, that you're probably dealing with a creeping narcissist. Another sign that you could be dealing with a narcissist on a dating app is that they start out with you, talking to you, but then the conversation is jumping, all right? Why? Because they're jumping and talking to other people as they're talking to you. So you may be talking and then there might be like 15, 20-minute breaks before you get another response. That's because that person is jumping around, talking to everybody else, and they're not focusing in on you and getting to know you. Why? Because it's about numbers. It's about supply. It's not about trying to find somebody and get to know somebody, because that's not what they're looking for. All right, you guys? The other thing, too, is when you're dealing with a narcissist on a dating app, another red flag is a lot of times they won't be asking too many personal questions about you. They generally ask the two biggest ones, like, what do you do for work and do you have kids? Because they know they have to ask something. But in general, the narcissist on the dating app, they're going to be talking about superficial things. They will waste your time, all right? They will just waste your time pretty much talking about themselves, talking about their dog, talking about, all about them. Sometimes they're even just looking for a therapist, somebody to vent to. And they're not really serious about meeting somebody. So they're time wasters. That's what these people on the dating app are. Most of the time, you're going to find that they just waste your time, that they're people that, just looking for entertainment. The dating app is, it's entertainment for them. They're not serious about meeting somebody. Now, another red flag, all right, is when they say to you, oh, I'm looking to get married. I'm looking to get married. First of all, let me just say this. Anybody who says that is 99.9% of time somebody who's looking to play you, all right? Because nobody is looking to get married generally, all right, on a dating app. So if they do that, they're trying to fool you and try to win you over. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I want. I want to get married, so that they can get that supply. Now, what's another red flag of a narcissist on a dating app? They move incredibly quickly, okay? They don't want to take the time to get to know you. They want to move quickly. They want to have one conversation and then they want to go meet you. Instead of taking their time trying to figure out what type of person you are. They don't care about what type of person you are. All they care about is what you look like and whether they would probably want to have sex with you, all right? If it's a sex supply. So they're going to rush it. And that's another red flag that you're dealing with a narcissist on a dating app. They want to move real fast, okay? Because they want to see if you're even worth their time. So they have to, if it's a narcissist looking for sex, they're going to be like, oh, when can we meet? When can we meet? You have one little, back and forth little convo with them, and right away they want to meet you. Now, I put this out on a post yesterday because, it's just so obvious, but yet so many people are naive. When you meet somebody on a dating app, all right, you never, ever, ever go to that person's house, and you never, ever get in that person's car. You know how many naive people do this? So many naive people do this, all right? And the reason that I did that was I was watching a crime show yesterday, and it was about an older woman who was meeting men on dating apps. And what she did was she jumped around on these dating apps because she was lonely. She wanted to meet somebody, all right? And what happened to her is she started talking to somebody who was a narcissistic predator, okay? Pretty much a sociopath that she thought was a nice guy. She got into his car. He ended up going and getting yogurt from the store for her. He laced the yogurt with sedatives and drugs and painkillers. He drugged her out, all right? Now, this is a woman who used to go around and carry a gun on her, all right? She was a tough woman, and she was also an ex-bail bondsman, all right? So she wasn't like this person that you would think, like, is this little naive thing, right? She was an older woman, and supposedly, from what I understand, she met this guy from a dating app, and, she went and met him in a parking lot. She got into his car. He went into the store. I guess he went and bought her a yogurt in the store. He drugged it out, gave it to her, and he gave her the yogurt in the car. They were sitting in the car. She got from her car and she got into his car. Biggest mistake you could ever make, all right? You don't know who these people are. Gets into his car, starts eating this yogurt, starts getting woozy from the drugs, the painkillers that he put in the yogurt. And needless to say, what happened was he killed her. He put a bag over her head and suffocated her on top of everything else, all right? This is a woman who was supposedly a tough lady, like I said, an ex-bail bondsman, somebody who walked around with a firearm, okay? And she got in the hands of a predator from a dating app, all right? I'm pretty sure he was from the dating app, right? Because she was jumping around on dating apps and meeting men. This is what supposedly the investigator said. So the purpose of all of that, of the narcissistic predator from the dating app, this guy was a serial killer, by the way. And this case happened in South Carolina. The purpose of that was because he was robbing their money. So he had her cards, her bank cards, credit cards, everything. And she was not the only one that he was doing this to. He was targeting older women to rob them, kill them and rob them, all right? So you have these older women, and it could be older men too, that are looking for love, desperate for love, go on these dating apps, all right, which is a shark's pit, right? And they are in a pool of psychopaths, sociopaths, malignant narcissists, covert narcissists. They're all on these dating apps, okay? Because they're targeting supply. Now, I get people that come back at me and say, well, this could happen anywhere. Yes, it can. But the difference is you're going to find more predators on a dating app because they're after the supply, right? So they're going to go exactly where the supply is, and they're going to target the supply. They'll either target really young supply or really old supply, or they'll target vulnerable people, okay? This is what they target, especially on these dating apps. So you have to be exceptionally careful when you go on a dating app today. As a matter of fact, I don't even recommend it. I know it's hard to meet people in everyday life, but you're still better off, all right? To join something and try to meet somebody organically, or meet somebody through friends, or, where you really get to vet out these people, all right? So, how are you going to know whether you're dealing with somebody like that? Well, you're not going to know. You're not going to know right away, all right? You are just not going to know right away. But this particular guy who was a serial killer, he had a criminal record, all right? He had a criminal record. Now, obviously, when she got into his car, she either didn't care that he had a criminal record, or she didn't know he had a criminal record. So that's why I say, when you meet somebody off a dating app, you really should, if you're going to go do something and maybe go to their house, which you should not go to their house at all. You should get to know this person. You should go meet them in public places a couple of times and see what they're about. Now, remember this, the narcissist can keep on that mask for a long time if they have to, if they're after a supply. But the purpose is, if you take your time with it and you make the narcissist wait, and I'm talking months, all right? Then you will generally weed out who's the narcissist and who's not, because a narcissist is not going to want to stick around for that. They want to get in it, get the supply, and get out. So if you are going to meet somebody on a dating app, you have to move at a snail's pace. I mean a snail's pace. You have to get this person to get on the phone with you, have conversations with you, all right? Because you can't tell by text. Narcissists hide behind text. You have to feel the emotion in their voice, okay? Because getting on the phone with somebody tells you a lot more than just texting somebody. You could feel in their voice, their emotions. So if you're going to do it, I would recommend you have to get on the phone with them and feel them out and see what they sound like. And a lot of narcissists don't want to get on the phone, all right? And why is that? Because they're married or in relationships, and a lot of times their old lady or old man is sitting right there, okay? So they can't get on a phone. So they love texting, because they could be texting you and they could be texting all these other people. I've done so many podcasts and videos on this topic. So you guys, go back to my older videos and podcasts on dating and relationship, and you will see so many videos on this where I talk about, narcissists on the dating apps and what to watch out for, okay? The other thing, too, that you have to be cautious of is that narcissists, of course, are going to love bomb you, especially on the dating app. They're going to tell you how beautiful you are. They're going to be saying, I love you after one conversation. Red flag. Nobody fucking loves you after one conversation, okay? As much as you want to hear it, they don't love you. They don't know you. They don't know you, all right? It's like this other reality show I was watching where this girl, she married this guy after 3 months. She didn't even know this guy. I think they spent a week together. And then she's this young, naive girl. And she's meeting this guy from Colorado. She doesn't know jack shit about him. And she ends up marrying him after 3 months, right? And she goes and she's telling her family, oh, but we realize that we love each other. We love each other. How can you love somebody when you don't even know who the fuck they are, all right? What do you know about this person? You haven't seen them angry. You haven't seen them depressed. You haven't seen them poor. You haven't seen them with money. You don't know this person. So the thing is, she's going to learn too, you guys. She's going to learn too, because I see narcissists all over this guy. All over this guy. I think he's looking to take her for a financial ride, all right, because of the fact that she's on a reality show, what her family has. It just doesn't add up to me, okay? And that's exactly how you have to be when you're vetting out these narcissists, all right? If it's not adding up, it's not adding up. If something seems off, then it is off. Then you have to trust your gut, all right? If something they say or something they do seems odd to you, then you're dealing with an insincere person, and you've got to recognize that. You've got to recognize you're dealing with an insincere person. So, you're not going to know a lot of this until you take your time. You have to take your time with somebody. That's why the dating process can't be rushed. But we're in a hookup culture where everybody's out there jumping around from person to person. And guess what? You're putting your life at risk. And whether you don't realize it, you are playing Russian roulette. You are playing Russian roulette. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, you may go around, have a good time for yourself, meeting all these people on the apps. But the longer you're in it, the higher the probability you're going to come across a narcissistic psychopath, all right, that is going to be extremely charming and is going to be either after your money or could be extremely deadly. You could run across a serial killer, all right? And people say, oh, you're too much with this. No, I'm not too much. Okay. Just pick up the news break and just read all the cases. Every single day I read this stuff, you guys. So I'm telling you right now, if you do meet somebody on a dating app, you have to move extremely slow. You have to listen to the conversation because narcissists tell on themselves. What is this person talking about? That's going to tell you a lot about who they are, all right? Are they talking about money? Are they talking about sex? Are they talking about moving into your place? Are they talking about coming to your city? These are all red flags of what that narcissist is after. But it's up to you to sharpen your senses and figure out who or what you're dealing with, okay? Who or what you're dealing with. Not only that, these narcissists are jumping around getting STDs, and you're meeting them trying to find the love of your life, and they're all over the place sleeping around. You got to be careful. You have to be careful who you meet because on a dating app, because a lot of them are jumping around and they have STDs, okay? Or they're going to give you an STD. So how are you going to know you're dealing with a narcissist? Well, it's just going to come off as fake. It's going to come off as fake. But like I said, some of these narcissists are very, very good liars, manipulators. They know how to play the nice guy or nice girl. They do everything right in the beginning. Some of them will do everything right, call you on time, be very kind, courteous, respectful, everybody's nice in the beginning, okay? Me and my girlfriend used to laugh about this because, we've been around and we know what it is and we know how these people play, all right? And we used to laugh and we used to say, everybody's nice in the beginning. Everybody's nice in the beginning, and especially the narcissist. They're going to be over the top nice. So that narcissist from the dating app is going to kill you with kindness. They're going to do all the right things in the beginning, all right? Remember what I said in quotation marks, in the beginning, have you on the phone for hours, texting you like crazy. They're going to want to move fast, though. This is a big red flag. They may be talking about themselves a lot, especially if they're a narcissist who's, after sex. They may bring up certain things, like they may try to test you by bringing up sex, talking about sex things, asking you, oh, what do you have on? Oh, what kind of underwear you have on? Oh, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Any of that, red flag, they're testing you. They're dirty. Get rid of them. Okay. All of this, you guys, I have podcasted on tons of videos on this. So go back to my earlier videos. My advice to you is to move at a snail's pace. Look at their pictures. Look if they're, overly, they got shirtless pictures on, they have sexy bikini pictures on, it's over the top, then you know that they're really putting it out there, okay? And what does that mean? They're putting themselves out there. That's somebody you have to watch. Also what they ask you, the questions they ask you, that's another thing you have to watch, whether you're dealing with a narcissist. If they ask you any financial questions, do you rent, do you own, is it your own place, do you live with somebody, okay? Why would they want to know if you live with somebody right away, okay? It's none of their business, but they may ask you that because they want to come to your place or they want to move into your place, right? So these are all ways to weed out the narcissist on a dating app. But the best thing, like I said, move slowly. Talk to them for at least 6 to 7 conversations on the phone before you go out and you meet this person. And, do a background check on them, all right? I really recommend doing a background check on them because you will be surprised what you find on these people. People don't realize this. They don't realize this, but you should really always do a background check before you go. Let's say you're meeting somebody or they're somebody. Like maybe if this person who went and met this guy in the parking lot there, the older woman, maybe if she would have done or maybe she didn't care. Maybe she just thought she was just too trusting. She was too trusting and she got into his car thinking he was a nice guy and she didn't know him, okay? She didn't fucking know him. I don't care how nice people talk on the phone. You don't know them, all right? So I'm telling you flat out, you better be careful because I read about this every day. Every day I read about this. So you better be careful and don't just jump in people's cars. Don't just go to people's houses or anything like that, all right? I'm trying to save your life. Save your life or save your health from catching a disease or something because these predators are out there and they're on these dating apps, all right? Not only that, I'm going to tell you guys another story. I had a guy friend of mine, right, who went and met some girl up in the Bronx. This girl was telling him everything he wanted to hear sexually. Like she really, really baited him where he thought he was going to go up there. He was going to have great sex with her. All right. This was the first mistake. All right. He figured, we're going to have a great time together. He went up to the Bronx and guess what happened to him up in the Bronx? Guess what happened to him? There was a guy there that pulled out a pistol on him, all right, and then robbed his wallet, all right? So she set him up. She set him up. This is what I'm telling you. The other thing, too, what they do is they'll get in your car and tell you they got to stop at a bank machine, all right? This the classic way to scam you. Stop at a bank. You pull over, they got to stop at a bank, and guess what happens? Another car pulls up behind you, right? And guess what? They come out and they pull out a firearm on you and tell you get out and they rob you, okay? Or they rob you at the bank machine, all right? Or they tell you their bank card's not working. Now you got to go to the bank card and use your bank card, all right? This is all the ways these people are trying to, rob you or get over on you. So I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to protect you. So please heed my warning because I just can't take reading about this anymore. All right. I pick up the local paper, the local news, and I'm always reading about this or another girl that went to some guy's apartment in Connecticut and he ended up killing her. How'd she meet him? Off a dating app. Okay. So you guys, number one rule, don't go to nobody's place and don't get in nobody's car and don't take any food off anybody. And never leave your drink unattended. Never leave your drink unattended, all right? Like if you go to the bathroom, you have a drink and you're with somebody, throw that drink out because you don't know who pops something into that drink. Okay, they do that too, okay? They're going to drug your drinks. So you are just prey to these narcissists and they are all over the dating apps. They are all over the dating apps. You're dealing with a lot of criminals on the dating apps that are looking for supply, and they're telling you they're a nice guy or a nice girl, okay? So just watch out because, it's a dangerous playground that you're in. So I hope that helps you guys. And, like I said, try to meet people organically if you can. I know it's a little harder, but it is definitely safer. I mean, you can meet a predator anywhere. We know that, but with the dating app, you're definitely putting yourself in the heart of, where these sharks are. So look for all the things that I mentioned in this podcast and move incredibly slow and try not to be on a dating app if you can. All right. I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for coaching, check out the link in the bio. I have limited time. I don't even know how much I could do coaching because I'm working on this other big project, and it's just taking so much time, you guys. Also check out my YouTube. I have over 7,000 videos on there. I cover everything on narcissism pretty much at the Game Exposed podcast. Facebook and Instagram is the Game EXP123, and TikTok is the Game Exposed. And have a great day. And try to stay off those dating apps, you guys. Have a great time, guys. Bye.